Have you ever thought and considered that this week you worked maybe something like Monday, Tuesday, perhaps even part of Wednesday just to pay taxes? Hello and welcome to the Durham Talents channel. My name is Jesse Durham. We're back for another edition to our Quick Take series, where we're going to be talking about taxation. Now, it was from Robert Kiyosaki that I first picked up this idea that something like January, February, March, and then maybe April, May, something around there is worked every year by so many people just to be able to keep what we earn the rest of the year. Do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how you break it down by the week, by the month, but what he's pointing out is that taxes are perhaps the largest eroder to wealth. So if being wealthy, if doing well for yourself, setting things up great for your children and your grandchildren, leaving inheritance for your children's children, if those types of things are important to you, we have to recognize that Monday and Tuesday of every week, if not more, may be spent on taxes. That January through April or May may be spent just to pay taxes. It's something that we simply must confront. I think R. Nelson Nash confronted it well when he discussed the Willie Sutton law in his book, Becoming Your Own Banker. So the very fact that wherever wealth is amassed, someone would like to separate you from it. Someone would like to get to your wealth, whether legally or even illegally. Okay, so we have to confront Willie Sutton's law. It's just one of the human problems. Now, that saying, for all my Bible scholars out there that know where I'm coming from with that, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar. And there are other sayings. We have this saying here in the U.S. of death and taxes, right? Many of you have probably heard that before. So what I'm saying in this quick take is simply that to confront the Willie Sutton law, it's one of the basics of the basics. Nash talked about that before he talked about so much more in describing how to implement the infinite banking concept, because it's one of those key, it's one of those core, it's one of those cornerstone human issues that we just simply must address. And when you really start breaking down and considering, well, okay, if the prior generation had to pay a tax to bequeath something to us, there's taxation there, okay? If we earn an income, however we do that in our lifetime, and that's taxed, that's something. And again, I'm not giving tax advice, right? I'm just asking us to think through this together. And then if we want to buy something and we have to pay a sales tax, and then that thing that we bought, if we want to keep it, what if, that vehicle or that land or whatever it happens to be, what if you have to continue to pay property taxes to own it, to keep it in your ownership and your possession? Then of course, if you want to bequeath something to someone else, will you have to pay an inheritance tax? I've heard some people, I believe it was Rabbi Daniel Lappin that I first heard, call that a death tax, that you're being taxed at death. And I think that's so apt. So again, accounting for taxes is something that we must do. Yes, we have to render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, but not a penny more. Not a penny more. That's what charity and donations and tithing and offerings and looking out for our neighbors and other members in the community, that has its place as well. But if we're going to account for our need of finance, if we're going to start at home, if we're going to start in our business, yes, rendering unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, but also accounting for those Willie Suttons out there. People that would like to legally or illegally separate us from our wealth. Then we can best do that by implementing what is the infinite banking concept, as conceived and described in R. Nelson Nash's book, Becoming Your Own Banker. So I've got a huge encouragement here to, if you've not yet read Becoming Your, guys, it's thin. It's large print, big sheet paper. It's got pictures and illustrations in it. It's a short read, but it's an absolute paradigm shift. I often tell folks that if you've seen the movie The Matrix, it's like you know about the Matrix now. Okay, so it's a big revelation. It's a big paradigm shift. But my encouragement would be to read that book. And if you'd like to have a conversation about how to implement the Infinite Banking Concept, how to become your own banker, then I look forward to having that conversation with you, whether that's for your household or your business, your investing, whatever the case may be. So I hope that this has been helpful. It has been a great pleasure for me. I look forward to our next conversation. Have a great day. Take care. Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's.
Yes, more like it. Here's my question. Yeah, I might do some other voices pretty well, but why is this one my default? Does that speak to my hillbilly nature? Does that speak to my redneck heritage? I think it might do.
It's a lovely sound, it is, and I cherish it deeply. I do. It makes me think of Braveheart. The family. Oh, that's good. That's rich. That's rich. It is. Yeah. That's too much. I can't. I've said this before. It's too much, Jesse. The people aren't ready. You can't do that. You can't say stuff like that. The wife doesn't like this one. She doesn't get it. Yeah, she doesn't like it. She doesn't go for it very much. No, she doesn't. Okay. What else is there? This is too long. We're taking up time here. Okay, we're on the clock. Lunch break.